like Deja Kelly and others that want to get this thing done and want to play games. So for you to say everybody's on the same page was a complete lie. Now, here's Adam Silver. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said Tuesday night he is tracking WNBA collective bargaining sessions very closely, and that he and Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum would both be willing to join the prolonged negotiations to finalize a deal. That means when Mark Tatum is getting involved, the guy I put in the thumbnail.
Adam Silver has stormed into the heart of the WNBA's bargaining war, and make no mistake, he's not here to sit quietly in the middle. The NBA commissioner dropped a bombshell. Compromise is mandatory, and the season must go on. Echoes of deja vu? That's because Caitlin Clark sounded the exact same alarm just 2 weeks ago, shattering the Players Association's facade of unity. Now, the game's most powerful voice is amplifying hers, while the league's co-founders scramble desperately behind the scenes, fighting to keep their off-season empire from collapsing.
Silver also said he has great relationships with many of the players and believes the sides are on course for a solution. The current 40-day extension ends January 9th, and that date is fastly approaching. Okay, he says, I remain optimistic we'll get something done, but whether that means I'm physically sitting at the table for the negotiation, Silver said. And again, I speak for Mark as well. We have been involved with this league for 3 decades. In essence, I care enormously about it and want it to be successful, and I want the players to feel fairly treated as well. And I realize there's been a disconnect, especially over the last few months in these negotiations.
What makes Silver's move truly explosive isn't just that he showed up, it's how he set the stage. He didn't offer gentle guidance or polite suggestions. He laid down a decree. Both sides must find common ground, and compromise isn't optional, it's demanded. Then he acknowledged what's undeniable. WNBA players have earned more, their contributions fueling unprecedented growth in the league. But listen closely to what he left out. Not a single word about the 50-50 revenue split the union has been hammering for months. Silver isn't talking percentages, he's talking cold, hard dollars. This is a straight-up rebuke of the union's core strategy. And the clock is ticking. December 17th, NBA Cup Finals in Las Vegas. Silver drops this bomb. January 9th, the current CBA expires. 3 weeks to bridge a chasm sources describe as massive. Players are demanding 30% of revenue. The WNBA is standing firm at 15%. And now, Silver is forcing both sides to compromise, all while rejecting the union's formula outright. The stakes couldn't be higher.
How we feel. And now let's get to the actual video so we can get more dialogue of what Breanna Stewart had to say. They trying to hardball. The owners aren't going to give in to all this nonsense. They're trying to hardball. These players are. And at the end of the day, Adam Silver is with Caitlin Clark. Y'all need to compromise and get this damn deal done and stop playing games.
Hey, Stewie. Good to see you. I had 2 questions. The first, Adam Silver spoke ahead of the Cup and said that if necessary, he'd be up for coming to the bargaining table, him and Mark Tatum. I'm just wondering, do you think that would be beneficial? Would there be value to having Adam's presence at the bargaining table?
What's the reaction on the other side? Watch Breanna Stewart closely. Every pause, every word tells a story. She admits it plainly. Their current approach isn't working. Translation: the Players Association's hardline gamble has collapsed. They opted out of the CBA back in October, betting the league would cave on revenue sharing. Instead, they've burned through 2 deadline extensions, watched expansion plans roll out without them, and now face the unimaginable. Adam Silver, the NBA's ultimate authority, is about to sit across the table. Stewart says she welcomes Silver into the talks, but listen carefully to the subtext. She frames it around, making sure everyone understands the player's perspective. That's not the tone of someone in control. That's the voice of someone hoping the commissioner will tilt the scales in their favor. But here's the twist. Silver has already shown his hand. He's not here to hand them a 50-50th split. He's here to force a settlement, one that guarantees games, guarantees the season, and leaves no room for ego-driven standoffs.
What we're doing right now isn't really getting us anywhere, so if that means that Adam and Mark need to come to the table, we're more than happy to have that, and just making sure everybody understands what we want and how we feel, and realizing that both things can be true together. Everybody can agree and get what they want out of this, but there has to be some I don't know, mutual, some things in common happening first. So yeah, if Adam wants to come, I would love to have him.
The plot thickens. Stewart drops a bomb that shakes the union to its core. Yes, in theory, everyone can get what they want, but only if there's genuine give and take first. Pause and let that sink in. For 2 months, the Players Association has preached that revenue sharing is sacred, non-negotiable. They even mocked Silver on Instagram, ridiculing his insistence on absolute dollars over percentages. They sold this as a righteous battle for fairness and equity. And now their most visible leader is publicly conceding that real compromise, demands sacrifices on both sides. It's a stunning retreat from everything they've claimed. And it exposes a deep fissure. Players like Stewart and Nafi Sakir are caught in a bind. The longer this standoff drags on, the more obvious it becomes that some leaders aren't actually fighting for all players. They're fighting for a select few, and the cracks are showing.
And the season is going to run from fall to April, which is in direct competition with Unrivaled. What were your immediate thoughts when you heard about Project B? And what's the long-term answer for the landscape of women's basketball? Is it to have one premier league? Is it to continue developing all of these leagues? Like, what is truly the answer? What is the ideal world for the women's basketball landscape?
Yeah, I mean, I think my immediate thoughts when I saw Project B, I was kind of like, well, they saw what worked. You know, they saw the success that we had here at Unrivaled, and they wanted to be a part of that in their own way and try to do it. But at the same time, knowing, what we're doing here is...
This is the moment where the cracks turn into chasms. Stewart is asked about Project B, the new fall to spring league that collides head-on with Unrivaled's winter schedule. Watch her carefully. Her answer is a dance of deflection. She says Project B saw what worked at Unrivaled and wanted to do it their way. Then she pivots, extolling Unrivaled's special advantages, equity stakes, concentrated resources, keeping players in one city. But she never admits the truth. Project B's schedule actually lines up more seamlessly with the WNBA season. She doesn't mention the overseas players who could now return for a full WNBA year. Instead, she dismisses it as imitation, spinning the narrative to glorify Unrivaled. This isn't analysis, it's marketing. And it exposes the hidden conflict driving these stalled negotiations. Stewart talks about prioritizing player health and city-based resources, but when pressed on a long-term solution, she admits uncertainty. Multiple leagues, overlapping schedules, competing interests, there's no easy answer. And yet, the reality is clear. The players negotiating on behalf of all WNBA athletes are simultaneously running a league that benefits from a shorter WNBA season. Caitlin Clark called it out weeks ago. Compromise is essential if games are to be played. Some players are putting personal ventures ahead of the league.